take a gap year to think, yo, finally I'm done with the books, I'm just gonna chill. No, if you do that, you're a bum. Like, might as well go to school. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hey girl, hey, or hey boy, hey. So excited that you have clicked on my videos today, and I hope you love it here. So guys, as you can see by the title of the video, today I will be discussing the 10 things or the 10 lessons that I learned during my gap year. So in my first get to know me video, I did tell you guys that I was working at the time. So I matriculated in the year 2022 and I decided to take a gap year in the year 2023. So I spent my 2023 basically working. Like, I worked the entire time in 2023. Even a day after Christmas, I was working. So that basically sums up my 2023 gap year experience. However, in that 12 months, there are 10 things that I learned that I think I should definitely share for anyone who maybe needs a little bit of guidance or wants to get a feel of how a gap year usually goes down. But I do know that obviously our experiences are definitely different, but this is my experience and my personal 10 lessons that I learned. And I'll also be giving my 2 cents about what I think of a gap year and why you should or shouldn't take it. So if this sounds like a video that is for you, please girl, please boy, stay tuned and let's get into discussing it. Before we go ahead and we start, I would like to thank you for 82 subscribers. Yay! When we first started, there was 16, now there is 82. I am so happy that we are growing. And guys, there are 82 of us, but I'm getting about 235 views, 100 plus views on a single video. Guys, please subscribe. If you like it, share, and you love it here, you like the vlogs or the content that I've put out so far, please subscribe. It is free. Okay, I'm just a girl with a big dream and YouTube is one of my dreams, so why not help me accomplish it? Come on, just click that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. And with that said, without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, so guys, the first thing or the first lesson that I learned in my gap year is that it is okay to take a gap year. Like, it is absolutely okay. No one is gonna be mad at you for it. Okay, no one has the right to be mad at you for it. It's your choice, okay? And I say this because lots of people actually always they always deliberate, like, should I not, what are the pros, what are the cons? And I honestly think that if you are someone who honestly needs a break from the academics, take that gap year, guys. Honestly, I am pro gap year, okay? Only because, like you see in the other things that I have listed, like, I learned so much and there's a lot that happens in a gap year. Missing 1 year of your academic life doesn't put you 10 years back. Really, it honestly doesn't. So if you haven't thinking about taking a gap year, do it, baby girl, do it, baby boy, because at the end of the day, you're the one who's going to be doing those assignments, you're the one who's going to be learning all those modules, you're the one who's going to be have to be producing distinctions. There's no one else who's going to be there to help you. It is you going there. So if you go at a time where you don't feel like it, then what's the point? Not like don't feel like it, or you don't feel like you're ready for it, or you feel, just don't do it, because I guarantee you probably won't do your best. And that was my whole thing. I honestly didn't feel like I wanted to go to varsity at all. I knew for a fact if I went there, I was just gonna be, do you know those people that they call a bum? You know, like a bum, like deadbeat dads. That was gonna be me. I was gonna be deadbeat with those academics, because I was not interested, like, at all. Like, I gave zero dudes, like zero. So I was like, I don't see myself going there. Lesson number 2, you value education so much more, okay? And I say this because initially, right, before I got into school, I thought that education was okay. Education is good, it's always great to learn stuff, but going to varsity, all of that whole process, going to varsity, getting a degree, I thought that was a big fat waste of time, because I saw people who had degrees, multiple degrees, and they didn't have jobs, okay? So I was like, why must I go spend 4 years in a place, learn all of this stuff, and I have nothing to show for it except for a piece of paper? Do you know what I'm saying? So I was like, yeah, I'm definitely not doing that. But after taking a gap year, I realized that school is actually so important, especially if you are one of those people in society who needs to be in school, like your lawyers, your doctors, all of these people that are crucial to society. You have to go to school, and I am one of those people. And another thing that actually changed my perspective on school was actually seeing the people that I worked with. Most of them didn't have degrees, or hadn't really gone to school, or went to school but dropped out. And I just thought, if I don't go to school, okay, fine, I may not get the job that I want, but somewhere, somehow, I may have an upper hand. But again, my story is not the same as your story. Just because out of 100, maybe 60 people don't get a job for what they studied for, doesn't mean that I will be part of those people. Also, it depends on how hard I work, and you know, everyone knows what they want, because I don't know how that person's academic journey went. So I just realized that just get your degree, get your master's, get your honors, get your PhD, do whatever you need to do to get to where you want to be. So after seeing a lot of people hopping from job to job, especially the ones with no degrees, I was like, yeah, I need to get myself into an institution ASAP, because I can't be hopping around. And I also found that the people that did go to varsity, that did have their degrees, did have their honors, they actually had the opportunity to work in that specific field. And then obviously COVID-19 messed up everyone's lives, and the nice thing is that they still have that qualification to show for it. Like, hey, I have this piece of paper, I have this experience, let me put out my CV, let me put, you know what I mean? And when they do get those jobs, and they do leave those minimum wage jobs, it is so worth it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that is another thing. I just realized that it is so much better to have the degree, to have that honors, to have that master's, because it puts you above the rest. Yes. Lesson number 3 that I learned was that your goals suddenly become clearer. Okay, maybe I shouldn't use the word suddenly, but at some point, girl, boy, those goals become clearer. Like, I don't know, for me, my goals became like bone straight, like I'm not even kidding. Like, first coming into the gap year, I was like, okay, I knew what I would want to study in varsity whenever I did go, but after experiencing all of those things, like in my workplace, getting such little money a month, like 7.5, 8.3, you know, all of those little monies that I was getting, working the long hard hours, I suddenly realized that my goals had changed. Also, even if they don't change in the long run, with like in your gap year, they can change. Do you know what I'm saying? So my main priority now was I need to stop working these minimum wage jobs, and do something better for myself so that I can get out of here. So my number 1 goal that year became to get into varsity. You know what I'm saying? Even if your main goal in your gap year is not to get into varsity, there are certain experiences that you will go through that will make you, or make the other goals that you had forgotten about, come to light. You know what I'm saying? So some people's goals can be, I want to be in that modeling agency, I want to be on YouTube. there's certain things that I don't know how it works, but in your gap year you suddenly like you reach a point where you actually want to be serious about your life. Not saying that a gap year is not a serious part of your life, but you suddenly want to be better because of everything that you're experiencing, be it not being able to find a job, be it I don't know, family issues, I don't know. It can be literally any little experience that can happen in that year that can make you see your goals clearer, that can make you want to actually work so much harder than you were before. So for some reason, a gap year really makes you, it gives you a clear perspective on a whole lot of things. Lesson number 4 that I learned during my gap year was that you suddenly build this very healthy relationship of taking risks. Like, because you have 12 months to yourself, you suddenly want to be put in spaces that will obviously, hopefully, make you a better person and will help you to flourish in whatever journey you are trying to go into. Do you know what I'm saying? So for example, some people in their gap years, they may start businesses. Some people people start businesses and they do so good, to the point where even now, if they do decide to go to varsity, remember the third lesson that I told you about, that your goals become a little bit clearer. Before their gap year, they may have wanted to go to varsity for medicine, but during their gap year they look at things and they're like, okay, maybe this person decides to start a business. They take a risk to start that business, and then suddenly when they go to varsity, they would rather do something business oriented. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you get me? So you suddenly become a risk taker, and I honestly hope that you become a risk taker, because you have 12 months to do everything and anything. People leave South Africa and become au pairs in Italy, France, America. That is actually something I initially wanted to do. However, it didn't happen, and not because I was missing something, or I don't know, I just didn't have that. I don't have a thing to go anymore. So I was like, nah, I want to do something completely different. So you see, there's a lot of things that you can do. There's a lot of opportunities, and you need to look for opportunities, guys. Like, I found that if I focus on a particular thing, for example, when I was searching for a different job, because I hated the job that I was in before moving to my final job, or my last job, I found that when I was looking for jobs, my brain suddenly filtered job applications. That's all I saw. So look for the opportunities and take the risk. Take the risk. Even if it doesn't work out, at least you tried. And at least you tried and you put your all, and you can either do it again or learn from it and do it better or do something different. So you build a good relationship with risk. And I'll give you one example of how I took a risk. I decided to leave my parents' house with absolutely nothing, like zero. Like, I took my stuff and I said deuces. That was a big fat risk that I took. Why? Because I knew I have 12 months to do something. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's things like that. Now, I'm not saying, baby girl, I'm not saying write your exams and leave your dad's house. Guys, it's hard out there. But if that is something that aligns with you, take the risk. Take the risk. Like, no one has ever died from taking... Okay. No one has ever... Hey! How am I gonna... Bruh, just take the risk. That's my whole thing. Take the risk. You will not regret it. The 5th lesson that I learned from my gap year was there is a lot of anxiety and uncertainty. As much as you can plan for the year, and as much as you can think you got it, things don't necessarily go our way. And even though you are doing the things that you said you would, and everything is happening the way that you planned it, there is still a lot of anxiety. Because for me, I'll tell you one of my biggest things. As much as I did not see myself in varsity in the year 2023, when I saw my friends posting oh, I got into UCT, oh, I'm in UWC, oh, I'm in VIT, oh, I'm in UJ, oh, I'm in UP, oh, I'm in NMU, oh, girl. And I was like, damn, and you nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So you get that, like, you girl, it becomes a little bit overwhelming, because now you see your friends, they're in varsity, they studying like Nandi, and you are here working a job 6 days a week, 6 to 6. You know what I'm saying? So there's definitely a lot of anxiety. There's gonna be a lot of there's gonna be a lot of times when you might regret taking that year off, because you may feel so behind. You can be so worried. Okay, fine, when I'm in first year, my friends are gonna be second year. Girl, ain't nobody give a damn. Can I tell you something? There's people who take 3-year gap years and they go to med school. There's people who take 4-year gap years and they still become lawyers, they still become dietitians, they still become social workers. Like, no one cares. Can I tell you, in my politics class, I sat next to a man, a father of 4, my boy, first year, a father of 4. No one cares, because at the end of the day, we're all there to learn and to do our thing. So don't let your friends in varsity give you anxiety, and most of all, do not compare yourself to everyone else and what everyone else is doing. Also, even your friends that are on gap years, there can also be a lot of, you know, between you guys, because you may be doing something different from them, and you may see them flourishing. Maybe they're building their Instagram, or they're starting a YouTube channel, and you just feel so behind. Like, don't do that to yourself. Just find something and stick to it, okay? Because at the end of the day, you are your own person, and you dictate what happens to you, around you, and everything. So when you get that chance, build a life that is anxiety free, okay, and that works in your favor. So yes, there's going to be some times where you're like, I'm so anxious about everything. Did I make the right decision? But just trust yourself and remember why you decided to take a break, because we all need to take a break. Just remember your whys, because I'm telling you, you will thank yourself at the end of the experience, okay? All right. Lesson number 6 would be, you find yourself during a gap year. Like, you find out what kind of person you are. Am I a hardworking person? Am I a couch potato? Am I a loser? Am I, do you know what I'm saying? Like, you really get to find yourself. So for me, I learned a whole lot of stuff about myself, because remember, now it's 2023, I'm taking a gap year. I suddenly have bills to pay. I suddenly have all these things to do. I literally jumped from a high school student to an adult. Do you know what I'm saying? So you really find who you are. Like, I found out that I actually really suck with finances, and I think, okay, I would have found that out anyway, but I sucked. Like, I'll get my salary, thank God I wouldn't drink it all the time, but I'll get my salary, I'll do all my stuff, and then I'll just the rest, and I don't know where it went. So obviously now I know, okay, Kim, you gotta watch that money. Like, do something that's gonna make your, you know, open that savings account, do something, so you really find out who you are. Like, I also found out I'm very hardworking, like, and I don't give up. Yes, because I searched for a job. Guys, I would be so tired from I used to work at Rage before, and I worked for another company, which is the one that I left recently. And when I was working at Rage, I would be so tired, guys, to the point where I can sleep for 6 days. But every day, whenever I could, actually not even every single day, I think for a solid 3 weeks, I decided this job sucks and I need to do something to get out of it, otherwise I'm gonna go crazy. Every single day I would go to the malls with my CV printed out. Maybe I'd print about 12 pages and I would hand it out. Mind you, I'm working a different job, and maybe I need to leave maybe 2 hours before my shift starts. So I'll do things like that. While I was in rage, I went to interviews, so that shows you what kind of person I am, or that showed myself what kind of person I am. But okay girl, you are a go-getter. You said you wanted a new job. What are you doing to get to that new job? Okay, you're putting out your CVs, you're going to interviews. You know, it's stuff like that that will actually show you what kind of person you are. Okay, you suck with money. What can you do? Okay, I can eat takeouts less. I can do a debit order for my salary when I get paid, and I can put into a savings account or put into an investment account. Do you know, it is going to be stuff like that that you are going to learn about yourself. Yes, well, for me, for you it may be something completely different, but at the end of the day, you learn about yourself and what kind of person you are. Lesson number 7 is that a gap year can be so much fun. I don't want to lie and say I did fun things every single time, because that is not honestly the case. That is not the case at all. I was working every single day. Like my first job, 1 day off. Second job, 2 random ass days off. Like, girl, I could be off on a random Monday. Like, my friends are at school, everyone is working, and you're off on a Monday, or I'd be off on a Wednesday, girl. But I found that the times that I did make time for fun, I definitely enjoyed it. I did things like going to adventure golf, chilling with my friends, finding new spots, going out to eat. Even though I didn't do it a lot, but the chance that I did get to do it, it was honestly a lot of fun. I do regret not doing it a little bit more. However, I have a totally different life now. I'm a student. I get from Friday to Sunday off, and I can now actually do a whole lot more things. I have more time on my hair. Okay, that's a lie. I have a lot of assignments and a lot of things to submit, but in the time that I do get, I will definitely make the most of it, like 10 times more than I did last year. So a gap year can be so much fun, guys. Like, I saw this one girl, her and her friends, they went out on a little road trip, like little girls getaway. It was so awesome, and they were all doing a gap year just to, you know, just to go back to themselves and just have a little bit of fun. Do you know what I'm saying? So do stuff like that. Even if fun for you is just chilling by yourself, making a video like this that you're never gonna post or something like that, if that is fun to you, do it. Just do something fun. So yeah, gap years can be very fun, guys. Like, so fun. You get to meet people, put yourselves in those places where you actually have the privilege to meet people. Lesson number 8 that I learned during my gap year was that it can be so lonely. Like, it can actually be so lonely, guys. Yes, you may have your friends around you. Yes, you may have all the support around you, but at the end of the day, remember that you spend most of your time with who? Yourself. You can be with friends, you guys can be brunching or lunching or breakfasting, whatever you're doing, but sometimes we tend to live in our own heads. So it can be lonely, y'all. There's gonna be times where you're like, why did I do this? Do you know what I'm saying? There's gonna be times where you feel like relationships are being strained, which then contributes to the loneliness. And this happened a lot to me. Like, I hung out with my friends and stuff, but obviously because now we live completely different lives, they have school or they have regular jobs where they can work Monday to Friday, Saturday, Sunday they're free, and then they can chill out with other friends. Whereas you don't have that privilege, or I didn't have that privilege in my case. My friends would be chilling maybe Saturday, Sunday, but I'm at work. I used to work at night, and in the day I'm so tired I can't even pick up the phone. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's things like that. It can be very lonely. You can feel like you're alone and you're the only one who's going through all of these emotions of a gap year. Should I continue to do it? Is it worth it? You're gonna have all those thoughts, but not all days are bad and not all days are lonely. So push past the road, mama, and just continue. And like I said, remember your whys. Lesson number 9. as much as there are the good parts and the fun parts and the relaxed parts and the calm parts of a gap year, there is a lot of pressure. There is so much pressure, and that can be from your friends, your family, and most importantly yourself. Like, we are our worst critics. Like, it's actually absurd of how much we criticize ourselves on a daily, and we are so harsh to ourselves. It's so crazy. But yes, there can be a lot of pressure from your parents. When are you going back to school? Go back to school. Applications are open. Apply. I know. I have a phone. I got Google. Like, I can see it. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be a lot of things in your ear. Like, everyone telling you what to do. Everyone telling you, yo. Like, sometimes even for me, it was so hard to hear my own voice, like, because my dad ngapha, my mom ngapha telling me school. They would like send me screenshots of opening dates, screenshots of scholarships, and I definitely know it was from a place of like, we love you girl, da da da. But to me it felt like a lot of pressure, especially because this was a time for me to just relax. Like, I'm not stupid, like, I'm relaxing, but obviously I have some sort of plan. Do you know what I'm saying? There can be even pressure from yourself. Sometimes you find yourself in a space where you may not even know what you're gonna do next, because some people, like, a whole point of a gap year is to rest and to just regroup and to actually decide what your next step in life is. Sometimes you can be more confused than when you started, so the pressure can come from there. Because I remember there was a point in my life where I was like, okay, varsity, pack my stuff, move to Italy. I don't know what I'm gonna do there, but I'm gonna go there. Continue working, you know, and that's a lot of pressure, because it's big decisions that you are making for your life. Do you know what I'm saying? So the pressure can really come from there, from yourself, your family. So yeah, do I go back? Not go back. Do I go to varsity? Do I find another job? Do I continue my gap year? Do I move provinces? Do I move to another country? Should I be in au pair? Should I do this? Should I do that? It's just a lot. It becomes a whole lot, and it's honestly going to happen no matter how well planned you are. Because remember, as you go on, you suddenly fall in love with different things, and what you initially had planned may not be the same thing that comes out at the end of everything. So yes guys, there's definitely a lot of pressure. And the final lesson that I learned was that taking a gap year can be discouraging. It can be discouraging, especially for those who don't plan to who don't plan to take a gap year. Like, you will hear a lot of no's. Like, you will hear a lot of no's. Varsities can say no, we have no space. Jobs can say no. Yo guys, there's a lot of no's, and you need to be very prepared for that, okay? Because it's not going to be all smooth sailing, planned out. Even if you planned it down to the T, girl, it's not like that. Like, the world doesn't care. It moves on whether you like it or not. So yeah, it can be very discouraging after hearing a whole lot of no's. But when you hear the yeses, my boy, you will be so happy, and everything will be so worth it. Like, okay, great, after so many no's, I finally get this one yes, and you're gonna do your best, I'm telling you. So yes guys, it can be a little bit discouraging, especially also because if you've planned some stuff and suddenly, like, nothing is coming together. Like, nothing, like, you know, it's like playing with Legos. Like, you know, you can't find the, no, not even Legos, puzzles. It's like a puzzle. Yes, like when you even have to take breaks when you do a puzzle. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it can be a little bit discouraging sometimes, but all of those discouragements are so needed. Not discouragements, okay, actually yeah, it's so needed and it's essential for the result that will come out at the end. So yeah guys, yes, you'll be discouraged, but just remember that you got this, and it is okay. Okay, you are not the first, and you're definitely not the last person to be on a gap year, and you'll be fine. Like, you'll be fine. I was seeing on TikTok, like, matriculants of 2023, they were like crying, posting on TikTok like, okay God, if this is your will, like let it be done. I know guys, it's so sad, like, you know, wanting something so bad, and especially if you really did well at school, and just for you not to be picked, it can suck. But make the most of it, see the good in it. Do you know what I'm saying? See the good in it, mama. You'll be fine, I promise you. Look at me, I'm fine, and I went through all of those 10 things, and I'm glad I did, because it made me so much better and so much stronger. Like, I became so much stronger. So yeah, it definitely built something in my character that was definitely 100% needed. So yes guys, that is basically my 10 lessons that I learned during my gap year in 2023, and I'm gonna do a little quick sum up of them. Right, so lesson number 1, it is okay to take a gap year, guys. Go to school when you are ready. Okay. And you lesson number 2 is you value education a lot more. Number 3, your goals become so much clearer. Number 4, you build a good relationship with taking risk. Number 5, there is a lot of anxiety. And then number 6, you find out who you are as an individual. Number 7, it can be a lot of fun. Number 8, it can get lonely. Number 9, there is a lot of pressure. And then number 10, it can be discouraging. Okay, so guys, as you can already see, out of 10 there are 7 pros and 3 cons. What does that suggest? That taking a gap year in the long run is good for you. Now don't come at me now, I'm just spitting the facts and my experience, because it honestly made me better. That's how I'm gonna say that. Yes, sure, I had some worries at the beginning. I'm gonna graduate late, because to be quite honest, I'm 20 right now. I will be 21 later on in the year, and this year should have been my 3rd year in varsity, but it's my first. And so what, honey? Like, no one cares, and if no one cares, you definitely shouldn't. So, and like, what? Okay, it's supposed to be my 3rd year, but it's my 1st year. Am I doing the work? Yes. Did I finally eventually get to this? Yes. You know what I'm saying? So it's not really, don't take it too hard, don't take it too easy. You'll be fine, I promise you. So yeah guys, basically to sum it all up, if you have been thinking about taking a gap year, do it, and do something great with it.